Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
This is a vault-only video because this is the kind of thing, I don't think this is a big enough topic for my main channel. But I had a couple of people ask me about a radio station situation happening in Canada right now, including Derek, who sent me a note with a link to an article. And there's something funny going on at a radio station in Canada right now. And as many of you know, I worked in radio for a long time. So I actually think I know what's going on. And it's not like I've figured this out on my own. I think a lot of people know this, but it's an interesting story nonetheless. From theprovince.com, okay? Vancouver's Kiss FM has been playing Rage Against the Machine on repeat. Why? They literally are playing one song over and over and over again. As of right now, the shooting of this video, they've probably played it a couple hundred times in a row. So what's the story? The one song playlist comes a day after hosts on the station announced their departure from the station. So the longtime hosts of Kiss FM in Vancouver all announced guys were leaving. They all left. Now somebody's in the studio and is just playing Rage Against the Machine on repeat. Vancouver radio station KISS Radio is giving listeners deja vu feels on Wednesday, playing a Rage Against the Machine song on repeat. 104.9 FM started doing that in the morning and has not stopped. It's a rap metal song called Killing in the Name. Killing in the Name. If a listener calls in with a request for a different song, DJs ignore it and continue playing Rage Against the Machine. Now, this comes a day after the popular morning hosts Kevin Lim and Sonia Sidhu announced their departure from the station after more than 5 years. Afternoon host Tara Jean Stevens also said she'll be moving on to a new opportunity soon. This sounds like a format change. Radio stations will often do this. We're going to change the format. They let everyone go, and they change formats, and they often want to do something big to let everyone know that something big is happening. Kiss is changing, and unfortunately, we were informed that we won't be part of the new chapter, said Lim and Sidhu in their final broadcast on Tuesday, and on a message posted on social media. They expressed gratitude to listeners and their management team at the station. Early Wednesday, some people speculated whether the choice of music, which is a protest song against abuse of power released in 1992, was by rogue employees making a statement, and that is not the case. You can't just take over a radio station and play music against the wishes of the owner. Rage Against the Machine's Tom Morello retweeted one local fan's suggestion that it might be related to the staff changes, but it could also be a stunt to signal a shift in format. And they actually call this stunting. When a radio station does something goofy like this to indicate they're about to change formats, they call it stunting. I know a radio station I worked at one time where they changed from talk to country. And for an entire weekend, they played the song Friends in Low Places, just over and over and over again for several days. I also know another radio station, another one I worked at, that when they changed to a heavy metal format from like an oldies format, they put on a weird countdown clock. And it was a computerized voice of someone counting down numbers from some ridiculously high number down to zero. When they hit zero, they changed formats. And it got people talking, it got people listening, and then about a year later, they changed formats again. In 1992, a station in Milwaukee played REM's It's the End of the World for an entire weekend as a precursor to switching the station to a hard rock format. Post Media reached out to Rogers Sports and Media about the future of the station in this case and the choice of the song on the loop. In an emailed response, a spokesperson revealed few details, saying only that we will have more details to share with you tomorrow on the plans for 104.9 FM in Vancouver. So what you got to know here is that Kiss FM is gone. They're going to change formats, most likely to some kind of alternative format or something. I'm not familiar enough with Vancouver's radio market to guess, but I suspect that most radio people in that market could figure it out very quickly. So I've mentioned before I worked in Detroit for a long period of time. At one point in time, Detroit had 4 rock and roll stations in town. And obviously that was probably too many, and a couple of them went away pretty quickly after the 4th one signed on. And there were also periods of time where there were no top 40 stations. And so, someone looks at the market and goes, well, gee, we can get rid of one of those and add one of those. And so what happens quite often is they do that. And the other clue here is that they've let the entire staff go. Now, there have been situations where radio stations have changed formats, but also changed to how they were run. meaning that they can actually say, we're going to bring in entirely syndicated stuff with no live people in the studio. They could do that too, but Vancouver's a pretty large market. I think they'd probably go with just a different format and new on-air people, but we'll see. We'll see. Everything's possible. And with radio, the way these things go, if it doesn't work out in 6 weeks, they can do it again. So right now, in case you're curious, you've heard about this, it's a radio station. It used to be called Kiss FM in Vancouver, and right now they're playing on loop over and over again, Rage Against the Machine. And the speculation, and I think it's the best speculation on this, is that they're going to change formats to some kind of alternative music that would make sense for. And they're doing this to get attention, and it's working because here we are talking about it on my channel, The Vault. So there you go. We'll see what happens. Of course, I'm going to put this up tonight right away, and by tomorrow morning, I could be wrong. We'll see. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.